Hey, in today's video we are going to install a dishwasher into the kitchen. Hey, this is Marco from Bama Handyman Solutions. Let's jump right into it. So today we're gonna install a dishwasher into the kitchen. We already removed the old one and now it's time to place the new one. So let's go through step by step. Let's meet me in the kitchen. Okay, so right now we are in the kitchen. As you can see, we got our hole where the whole thing needs to go in. We got our cable coming through from the crawl space, and in the back over there we already have the hole which then the discharge hose and the supply line will go through. When you get the dishwasher, it comes obviously in a box. They give you almost everything, but actually not everything. So let's start with the discharge hose. This will then go into our sink drain. So as you can see, there is no clamp, so you will need to get the clamp. That's one thing. And then they don't give you a supply line, so you have to go out and purchase a supply line. So this is kind of standard supply line. It comes with the connector to the dishwasher, and then one will go into the supply line from the sink. So hot water side. We got the manual. It's basically pretty simple. It just tells you what you need to do. Basically slide it in, level it out, hook everything up, and that's what we're going to do. It says there is a couple things we have to make sure, and I'm gonna show you what they're at. There are some certain regulations you have to follow when you put that in. They tell you where you want to have the line and where you want to have the cable. Yes, it's right over here. And if you have, so obviously this is not a new installation, it is a replacement. So, but if you install a new dishwasher that was never a dishwasher and you have a garbage disposal, you really have to check that, because you have to knock out the plug in the garbage disposal, otherwise it cannot discharge the water. And these are the electrical wires, and what we need to do is we need to connect the wires coming from the panel to those wires. Therefore, first we need to remove that panel. So now I'm turning that whole thing over again so we can actually see this side. So this side is the water inlet. So here we need to install that elbow, and then I want us to route the whole water supply back and then through our cabinet. So while we're down here, we've got those leveling screws. So we have 4, 2 on each side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna crack them loose, because if we would have to make adjustments, we actually can and not have to take the whole thing back out. One thing I would highly recommend, just make sure that all the hoses clamps are tight and not loose. Everything is plugged in. You never know what's going on in the factory. Let's remove that front panel, and that's very easy. We just loosen those 2 Phillips head screws. Okay, so let's have a look. So here, in here we will get the power eventually, but they want us to remove that, as you can see right here. So I don't know why they flipped from Phillips head to torque. It's not a big deal, we just get the bit. What they want you is, actually very cheapo. You come in with the cables, then you put here the ground, and you use wire nuts to wire those cables up. This is the thing we need. Let's go and check now on the hose. Well, as I said, this is the hose. So what we're gonna do next, the first thing we wanted to do is gonna connect. Let's make sure we have gaskets in it. They are. So let's tighten that thing first. So now, next thing, Let's make sure we got the gasket in here too. Okay, so then we feed that. See, we already pray it up. So we then just come up here and connect that. So here we need to, this needs to be really tight. So, and now we're gonna angle it a little bit towards the right if you stand in front of it to make sure we have enough hose to go over to the power supply. So let's loosen those quickly. Okay, cool. So now let's get the hose out of the way. Now we're gonna feed that already through the hole. Let's have a look over here. You can see, just pull it. So this is stage 1. Next thing, as I told you, there's no power on it. We're gonna install that clamp. And we basically feed the cable through here. Held our cable in place. So when we then feed the cable through the hole, the only thing we need to do is tighten that knot. So we're gonna save that, and now we're gonna move the dishwasher in place. At the same time, we wanna get our discharge line. So there will be a lot of hoses. Okay, we're gonna feed that again through the hole back there. And then we just leave that here for now. We got the supply line, just leave everything. Let's see if we can pull the cable. See, now the cable comes nicely. So see, cable comes nice out here where we can see it. So we have to pull all the hoses inside of it. Okay. So we can clearly see that back there all the hoses go into that hole, so we should be fine once we push that whole dishwasher away all the way to the back. And now we're gonna feed, let's go on this way a little bit, we're gonna feed that cable with the knot through here. So that's the deal. And that's it. So next thing will be bend those over. So see, we're lucky we can just go with this one around here. Oh, wrong side. So here we got our ground. So we have to be careful, these metals are very, very sharp, so we don't want to well, they are super short. See, then we need to cut off a little bit of the insulation. We don't have enough wire sticking out. We just want to cut the insulation. Okay, so next thing, we still have no power, so we can't touch the wires, and then we twist them around the solid. Okay, and then we get the wire knot. Okay, so then we're gonna pull and see if it bite. It did. Black one. Same thing. See, we just twist it around and get the wire knot. Pull test good. Get everything on here. Now It definitely is rock solid. We bent one over just to make sure they are not interfering with each other. Something like that. Then remember, the whole case needs to go back up here. Okay, that's it. So now we're gonna push it all the way back. We do that slowly. So that's it. Verify the hoses. Back there, we want to make sure we can now reach down here. Let's see, okay, they're all good. And center the whole thing. So the next thing will be in here. I'll leave that for now. Let's go and check in here. So we got already some tools sitting in here. So as I was talking about, we're gonna close that valve. So we got the hot water valve and the cold water valve, and we will. So next thing is we're gonna lose the hot water line. Let's close the cold as well. Okay, that's it. There's not a ton of water. We're gonna install that piece, and this basically prevents the pipes from making noise. And then we just install that in here, and then we get the hose for the faucet back up. Okay, so next thing is we have plenty of discharge hose, and we can actually go very high with that. The goal is we want to raise it so that the water cannot backflow in the sink. So we're just gonna get up there, making a loop. Then we need a clamp to clamp this into the discharge. So this goes just over that. So discharge comes in here and then gets tightened. So let's make sure it's actually is tight. So next thing, this is optional because my hose already actually goes up there. We can use some sort of clamp to keep it up there. Now just screw it. Where is it? Where did my little screw go? Screw it to the back of the cabinet. Maybe over time it starts to sag and come down, so we're gonna prevent that from actually already installing it. Let's check it out. So see, I'm gonna just go up there and then run a screw through that into here we go. So that's it. We tighten everything, then we open the valve and do the test run. So everything is hooked up. So let's have a look what is left to do. Okay, so let's let that be. We have to take this one out. Here we go. So the next thing is, see, we have to put the screws into the countertop. But first you want to make sure it is actually level. That's why we got that little level. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna place it on this side. and check and see if it's level. Do the same thing over here, making sure it's level. We're gonna do that. Let's bring the light in so we can actually see something. So it's pretty okay on this side. Let's check this side. So this side is also okay. And if we would need to do something, we need to go up. So I think we should be good. We can maybe raise it a little bit on this side. And remember the bumper or that razor we had. And then we check the front. So if we go up here, so in this corner it needs to go up a little bit, a couple turns. Not too much, so we're gonna do that. Let's close that. But we're gonna raise that a little bit. Let's have a look. Okay. That's why we need to. So maybe a little bit more. Let's check it out. Okay, we still have to mount it. So once it's mounted, I think we come into the clear. That's what we do next. And then the last thing is installing that. And then we do it as we took it off. We're gonna go under here, place it, and screw it on. So, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna run a test run with the machine. So I saved that for later. I want to make sure everything is working as it should. I want to check for leaks and definitely make sure we don't have a leak before I put that back on. So I would like to inspect it before I put that on. So that's basically it. We put that back inside. We still got to clean out here. And then we do a test run and see how it performs. So that's basically it, how you install a dishwasher. It's not such a big of a deal. Just make sure you got all the right connectors, hoses, fittings on screws to put it in place. Make sure there's enough clearance, and before you put back all the covers, make sure there is no leak. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was beneficial for you. Please leave me a thumbs up, and if you not already have subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and I see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.